All right. Welcome back, everybody. What's going on? As always, this is the Sweet Life Show with my partner, Jack. Before we get into things, Jack, pardon me, read a fruit promos here. First
Absolutely.
one, use promo code GETRIGHT to get a 50% deposit match on your first $1,000. What's better than free money? And also, Jack, I know you and I just clinched the playoff berth in our fantasy league. And I know I'm looking forward to wearing one of these bad boys home
hmm
afterwards. Ours courtesy of, Buffalo Wild Wings. But I think next year, if we get a nice custom design on there, which you could at Trophy Smack, make sure you go over there, use code GETRIGHT, and get right with some merch here.
Absolutely, dude. I've been thinking about that B Dubs ring ever since I
I
saw that I
can't
clinched.
wait, man. It's getting cold here. My hands are getting cold. I need something to warm it up.
And now my fingers
Uh,
itching, dude. That's, dude. I was surprised that they even offered that. Like, I don't know if anyone knew about it beforehand because I know that our commish, shout out Mike, our
I think we
commish.
all walked in and we were just like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, yeah.
He's so
Well, yeah, I know that the commish said that they offered like the whole board and everything beforehand. And then we kind of just, like you said, like we were expecting the board, a bunch of tables, the whole shebang. But
mm-hmm.
then they bestowed upon us a ring, a beautiful ring,
Courtesy of
dude.
Trophy Smack.
Oh, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Trophy
It's good.
Smack, man.
Maybe I'll like ask Mike to see if I can like grab it from him to show it off IRL. Um, but Jack, I apologize. We're getting a bit of a late start here. Like the Chiefs game this past weekend, I missed your call and had to get a late start here. Uh,
Yeah, man.
Speaking of, I mean, we're
She's
not going
got
to get
another
into
free
it.
one.
It's getting quite controversial. Unlike the Bears, I'd like to call a timeout on it, but they're flying today, everyone. No, we won't talk about it much. Yeah, I guess we could start. Your Eagles won a big one this week, Jack. I know we picked them to win. I was expecting a much
Absolutely
higher scoring
massive.
game, though. Cooper
No,
DeJean lifting up and body slamming Derrick Henry. That was pretty cool.
no, the body slam was, it did something to my soul. Seeing a white man, our Jackie Robinson, pick up all 250 pounds of Derrick Henry or however much that behemoth weighs. I
Probably
mean,
something like that.
coaches are going to be studying that one. I mean, that's going to go on the big board this week.
Oh, I
The
already saw
film
like
room.
memes all over Instagram, like high school coach is going to be like showing this in the like to all their like student athletes in the film room. I'm like, yeah, probably.
I look back and it makes me think, why did Cooper DeJean fall so far in the draft? He made it to like the middle of the second round.
Yeah,
As
I mean, you
as
know how I felt about Green Bay passing on him.
I know, a
Yeah,
coworker, shout out coworker,
still,
fellow Packers fan, coworker Jordan. We were talking about it. He's like, man, I wanted Coop
we had
so
him right
bad.
there too.
He had him, but Jordan Morgan.
I mean, he's playing pretty good. I can't like say like, oh, our first round pick was a bum, but man, I would have loved DeJean.
Yeah,
Because I
white.
mean, as a Packers fan, I don't know if there's many out there watching, but I think Eric Stokes is a huge fucking liability out there, and couldn't cover a mattress with a blanket. So
Jair's getting older and only more injury prone, unfortunately.
yeah, missed a couple weeks. I don't know, man. I mean, McKinney is a dog, and
Oh
Evan
yeah,
Williams has looked like a huge steal in the draft, but they're only going to get you so far.
I think
Bullard's been playing decent too.
I think maybe the McKinney signing makes the Packers office pump the brakes on drafting a white cornerback who had the potential to only play in safety in the NFL. Obviously, he's proved us everyone wrong now, but
Yeah, he looks super
that
good.
w- that was the narrative of, can this guy actually play CB1? And God bless Cooper DeJean, he can. That
I mean, it's probably pretty fair to say the Eagles got the best two corners out of the draft.
dude, Quinion Mitchell is the only player to play 400 plus snaps as corner and not allow a single touchdown.
That just goes to my point, I guess.
It's
Dude, that was a good
insane.
game. I know, weeks back. Pardon me, I dropped my pen. I know weeks back we kind of did power rankings NFC, and I don't even know if we had the Eagles in the top 5, but they're probably number 2 now, right behind the Lions, and might make the argument that they might be a better team right now, the Lions. I mean, I don't think so, but they're right there with them, I think.
I hate to sound like a biased fan, but we mentioned it in the beginning of the year, and I mean, you know how I talk about my birds. I feel like I'm very much a realist when it comes to, getting excited about wins or about the team or, oh, I think we're going to beat this team this week. Like, I am very much a believer that i- any given Sunday, anything can happen. I'm not confident about my team unless my team plays confidently. And I think the past couple of weeks they have shown that I say the biggest man of the bunch, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is allowing them to play complementary football. And not to take away from guys like Jalen or AJ Brown or the phenomenal defense, but I mean, when you could run the ball, dude, and play action off of it, you have a running, you have a quarterback who's also a dual threat. Um, it's the reason why offenses like Baltimore have been so hard to stop. You know,
Mm.
you get cross-eyed looking at one of the best running backs in the league, or one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and do I think Jalen's a top quarterback in the league? Is he like the number one? Maybe not, but I mean, his stats are eerily similar to Josh Allen, who everyone is the MVP this year, and no one talks about Jalen. And am I saying Jalen's the MVP? No, but I mean, you look at their total touchdowns, very similar. Passing yards,
Sure.
completion percentage.
Put them
Uh,
side by side. Yeah, I think I remember you sending me that. I will say this season by Saquon, the one thing that it has done for me is make me question, other than maybe, like a degree from some good college, what qualifies a guy like Nick Wright to be on ESPN over guys like us?
over
Because,
guys like Cody McGoats.
well, not even just me, just you, me,
Uh,
anybody.
hey, I'd
Like
rather hear Cody
he,
McGoats on a Sunday morning than Nick Wright because, first of all, I could barely hear Nick Wright what he's saying, not because he's not enunciating his words, but because he has something in his mouth, and without getting expletives, uh, it's Patrick Mahomes' penis. Okay, everybody, he has the Chiefs' penis in his mouth every damn day that he steps in front of that camera. And I get it. We're all football fans. We all love our teams. The Eagles are one of the best teams in the NFL. And when you listen to Sweet Life, I'm not here saying the Eagles are the best Eagles Super Bowl. Oh, the Eagles, oh, blah, 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 shoving it down everyone's throats. It's
yeah, I
like,
mean, if anything, you and I, when we're talking about our teams, we're always like, I don't know.
yeah, we walk on eggshells.
Yeah, like we're afraid to say something like jinx it.
Yeah, 100%. But then Nick Wright is just like he literally got and I almost respect this, but last year he literally got a tattoo on his arm that said "Never a doubt" about them winning the Super Bowl, and they did win the Super Bowl, so maybe he made the right call there.
Yeah.
But he's fucking insane, and Patrick Mahomes has not even played at an incredibly high level this year.
No, not
Does
at
that mean
all.
he's a bad
I actually
quarterback?
saw
No,
something
but
to you, and I should have sent it to you because you know how all year I've been saying the Chiefs are the worst, best team.
the best worst team.
They're the No, they're the worst, best team.
Oh, like yeah, with the record and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the worst, best team, and someone literally made a graph out of like all teams, all these criteria and everything. They are literally at the bottom. Ooh,
Hmm.
they are the worst, best team. I wish I could find it. I should have sent it to you.
Oh, especially offense, like points scored and everything. I was looking at some of their games on their schedule on ESPN, just their stats, and like the amount of points that they've scored has been incredibly underwhelming. They've been able to win games by the skin of their teeth, and mostly because of their defense. Their defense is phenomenal. Chris
Oh yeah.
Jones
I
carries
mean, over the past 2 weeks alone, they
that team.
barely, by the skin of their teeth, beat the Raiders, which
Yeah.
controversial. And then the week before, they just barely beat the Panthers on a game-winning field goal. Like they beat the Panthers and Raiders by a combined 4 points, which everyone's they're 11-1, but yeah, that's great. But I mean, you know, they have a little help on their side, it seems. But right now, I mean, head to head, give me the Bills over them, give me the
Yes.
Ravens over them, give me the Steelers over them.
The
On
Eagles.
the AFC. Well, I'm just talking AFC, but yeah, I mean,
Oh,
even
yeah.
if they get to the Super Bowl, give me the Eagles over them, give me Detroit over them, give me Green Bay over them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, there's so many better teams that I
Yeah.
would take head to head over them right now.
Yeah. The Chiefs have been underwhelming, and I remember having a conversation with someone about it this past week or 2 weeks ago about Patrick Mahomes, and they were pretty adamant. They were going back and forth with me a little bit about, Patrick Mahomes is still one of the best quarterbacks in this league. And I think it's a funny conversation because I definitely still can't take any away from the man. I mean, he does play in the big moments. When it matters, is he going to make the read? Is he going to do the Tom Brady-esque thing and march down the field? Most scenarios, absolutely yes. Stats aren't everything.
Sure.
But in terms of the quarterback that is playing at the highest level this season alone, not talking about last year, not talking about the year before, not talking about Super Bowls, I'm talking about now. I'm talking about which quarterback, when they hit the gridiron, are you certain that they are going to put up points for you and lead your team to victory? I kind of steer towards a guy like Josh Allen or even Lamar over Patrick Mahomes right now. Is that to
Fair
say
enough.
that is that to say that, you know, they're going to be better than Patrick Mahomes in the long run, or that Patrick Mahomes, isn't as good inherently than both of those guys? No, Patrick Mahomes is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time already, and he's not even 30 years old yet. Like, he's 29. So yeah,
Yeah,
he's not even 29. He's not even 29 years old yet, and he's already a top quarterback of all time.
sure.
At the very least, the best Chiefs quarterback of all time.
Yep.
One of the best AFC quarterbacks of all time. Like, it's you got to give the man his flowers, but at the end of the day, you also have to look, how many yards has he thrown for? How many times has he turned over the ball? You know,
Sure.
and you got to kind of weigh those options out. Like, I think that he's gotten bailed out by his defense a little bit. And people have said the same thing about Tom Brady when Tom Brady was in the league. Oh, well,
Sure.
look, he gets bailed out by his defenses. He gets bailed out by his kickers. Vinatieri kicks another long one and they get to go to the Super Bowl. It's like, yeah, 100%. That's
We
what
got to
I'm
keep
saying
the
about
same
Patrick
energy for this
Mahomes.
guy now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
I totally agree. Yeah, it's like we can't knock someone down for the same reason we're building someone up.
Factual.
But my thing is,
Factual
like,
information.
are all these sports talking heads like getting paid to promote the Chiefs? Because you hear it. We were talking a little bit before we, got on about we're watching the Bills game and they're showing the replay of the, great play. Josh Allen throws the Cooper, you know, pitches it back to him.
Cooper Cup or
And
Ramari
then
Cooper
you get
pitched it to him.
Chris Collinsworth in the announcing booth. Wow, this reminds me of Travis Kelce. It's like, dude, they're not even playing. Like, any chance that these guys get to talk with the Chiefs, they do. And it's
Yeah.
not even that. Like, I've heard it several times. And like we said, Nick Wright, it's just crazy. I feel like they're paying them off.
Looks like a little bit of Kansas City and Buffalo tonight. Literally were the words that came out of his mouth.
Yeah, it's insane.
Just because someone makes a good play
Like
doesn't mean
I've
they have
watched,
to be compared to the Chiefs. The Chiefs
we've
offense has
watched
been
football, and
underwhelming.
maybe
It's
we've watched football for years, like, at this point, decades. And maybe it's just because I'm picking up on it or I'm paying more attention to it, but I've never like Collinsworth or any announcers alone do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But who
it's
knows? Maybe it's just because I'm like picking up on it more, and social media is like picking up on it more.
no, it's definitely weird. We just mentioned it. Why are you even comparing a great play to a team, to a player, to an offense that is the Kansas City Chiefs that has been underwhelming this season. Why are you going to say, oh, that great touchdown pass looked real? Mahomes looked like the Kansas City Chiefs. It's like, how many touchdowns have they even had this year?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Like,
even if you're going to like make a comparison on that play, you can just be like, oh, that's like a classic hook and ladder play that's been ran 1,000 times. Like,
they gave him the
like
old 1-2 hook and ladder.
they're acting like Mahomes and Kelsey like created that play.
Yeah, it really gets on my nerves. Just to double back real quick before we move on, I guess, about people just lauding these guys. And again, Nick Wright just can't get Patrick Mahomes schlong out of his mouth. The whole segment, I get why the segment started. I don't know if you're familiar with it, if you've seen the show.
The Nick Wright one we talking about?
Yeah, I forget what the name of the show is actually. Whatever the hell it is.
Whatever.
But there's a segment on the show that started like a couple years ago when Patrick Mahomes was like cemented as the number one quarterback. Like every year he's had phenomenal stats, played as a top 5 quarterback. And Nick Wright called the segment the Mahomes Mountain. And what he would do is rank the level of play that each quarterback has had that week thus far. And who was always at the top of the mountain? The name of the segment, Mahomes Mountain, because he was always number one, always at the top. It was like a little bit of like a time to gloat, like, haha, like, look at my quarterback, he's the best. But he's still doing it.
Yeah.
He's still.
I mean, you can make the
it.
argument that Mahomes hasn't even been the best quarterback for the past 3 seasons.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about that.
He hasn't this year. He wasn't last year.
Well, who was the best last year?
Well,
Lamar.
MVP.
Yeah, but
and even stats wise, Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott had much better statistical seasons.
I think the difference is he was still at least a top 5 and playing like a top 5, whereas this year he has been more underwhelming than that.
Sure.
Like he's been behind guys like Jared Goff, who has been phenomenal. You know, Jared Goff has cemented himself. If you don't think Jared Goff has been playing like a top 5 quarterback, then you just ain't been watching ball this year.
Sure.
Guys like him, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow has kind of started to remind people.
For that, man.
Dude, I know it's like Goodwill Hunting. It's like, it's not your fault. It's not your fault.
Was it now? They've had like 6 games this year scoring 30 or more, and they've won 1 of them.
Dude, this last week, Bengals Steelers. The Bengals and Steelers have played each other over 110 times in their careers together. It's a massive rivalry, obviously.
Sure.
That division is deep. You know, it's a historic division. They've played each other over 110 times, the Bengals and the Steelers. This past week, they both broke a record. And a lot of credit to the Bengals because their defense is whatever, and Joe has to carry it. They broke a record for the amount of points that the two of them have ever scored against each other in the first half of a football game, because Joe Burrow has to carry this football team, dude, every single week. He puts up 40 points and he still can't win games. He still can't. If you score 40 points, if you score 30 points every game, you should probably at least be close to winning, if not have a shot to win every week. And their defense is just like, you and I could probably go out there in the Turkey Bowl. We were doing better than some of these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I mean, there was something else I saw. It was like quarterbacks that have like 3,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 5 or less interceptions or something after week, was it 12 or something? There's Burrow, who's, what are they, 5 and whatever at this point. And I think the next worst record had like 3 losses, which is insane.
I feel really bad. And, you know, we talked
like
about
team record wise is what I'm talking about.
Yeah. We talked about it early in the season a couple of weeks ago on the show of, is Joe Burrow still good? Is he that good? I mean, the guy is really doing everything he can when he's healthy.
And this year he has been.
This year he has been. It's been a shame that his team, his organization is kind of just not really been helping him out at all.
Like I said, I think he's had the injuries. But I don't know. It seems like it might be the next Andrew Luck.
That's what our boy Johnny says. He's worried
Yeah, I
about.
mean,
He's worried about him.
I could see. I mean, it's all the same, really. You
It's
have this
so.
great, you know, great quarterback who on any given day is gonna. Or look at the season. He's leading the league in yards and touchdowns.
Joe Mixon already decided to leave. T. Higgins' contract is his franchise tag is going to be up after this season,
That's what I mean. I
right?
mean, you're gonna keep letting Burrow get hit like he is.
No one's going to
Terrible
want to. No
defense,
one's
so
going
you're
to
gonna
want to be
wear
a
down
part
his
of that
arm.
team.
No,
Yeah, it's tough. It's really
it
tough.
is. It's a lot of like what Andrew Luck went through.
And that it's just like you guys in the North. That when you play in a division that's so competitive, it doesn't make it any easier. So I just
Mm-hmm.
feel bad for him. I'm gonna be repping his Sweet Life T-shirt when those come soon.
No, I feel super bad for Burrow. Oh, speaking of, should be here about a week or so. It's not a real for real update. I'm just assuming.
That's just what your
Um,
Magic 8 Ball said. Ask
that's just
again
what I'm
later.
trying to manifest here.
No, they are. We can verify that they are being made, though. It's not like
They are being made.
we're
They
not
they are
leading
in the
anybody
process.
on. They are being made. Yes,
When
sir.
that'll be, I don't know. Hopefully soon. Kylie for watching, which I know you're not. Hint hint.
Shout out to the T-shirt people,
Um,
the
what
T-shirt
the
slaves. No, I'm just kidding.
teachers? Yeah, the
We actually just have a
what
bunch
was
of people shackled in the basement that have been making the T-shirts.
it? We just have a bunch of children in the basement.
Okay.
All right, cut that one out. All right, what the hell were we even talking about? Burrow,
Talking about Joe Burrow,
Joe Burr. Yeah, Joe Burr. I feel very bad for.
quarterback that turned it
Um,
around. Another quarterback that has turned it around in a big way is your guy Jordan Love. He's been really turning it around with the turnovers
yeah,
a little bit. A little
no
bit.
interceptions, and I think four straight or one and four in a row.
Something like
Have
that.
won 7 games in a row, so we're getting a little warm. Playing Detroit this week. This is huge. This is a big one for us. We could obviously really use this win against division leader here. Which I will say, I know they beat us last game, but we only lost by 10, and we did have 2 missed field goals and two dropped passes in the end zone. So speaking of, I know early on I was getting so frustrated with Green Bay's kicking and all their missed field goals. But is there something going on this year? Because every week we're seeing guys, Justin Tucker missing 2 field goals, Evan McPherson missing 2 field goals. Like we're seeing it week after week where these kickers are missing multiple field goals and or just extra point attempts. Like are they putting like lead in the footballs or something or like
Not my boy.
magnets?
Not my boy Will Lutz. My boy Will Lutz has been kicking them straight every week.
Well, even like you say, like Jake Elliott,
No,
he's
I
what
know what you're saying.
0 for 7 past 50, where the
Oh
rest of his
yeah.
career he's like knocking those in, like
No,
no
yeah. Like
problem.
2 weeks ago, I missed like three PATs or field goals in the same game. Like he just missed.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's something going on. I mean, you look at that Chiefs Raiders game, Daniel Carson, who's like a career 85% or better. What, he missed 3 that game?
You know what it is? I
2 or
think just
3?
I can only imagine how much of a mental game it is being a kicker. And once you see other kickers miss and hear that storyline going in the head of, oh, what you just said, like all it takes is like us right now to be like, there's something in the air this year. And then, Justin Tucker goes up and is like, all it has to be is half of a second that idea passes through his head of is there something in the air this year? And then boom, you whiff a PAT. You know what I mean? Like I
Mhm.
can only imagine at least of how I hear about how much
It's
of a
like these
mental.
guys, like Justin Tucker, who's no longer the most accurate kicker in the NFL history, but up until this season, I think his career percentage was like 91%. So, dude who was almost automatic is just
Yeah.
missing multiple every week.
Hmm.
And it's not even just a secluded thing. Like I said, him, McPherson, Carlson. Like I know these guys are just missing kicks after kick.
Yeah, currently right now as of StatMuse,
Isn't it Eddie Pinheiro or whatever his name is?
No, it is
Um,
Harrison Butker.
okay.
But
I
right
know
behind
Eddie
him,
Pinheiro was at one point the number one.
though, is Justin Tucker.
So he's two now.
He's two, and the only thing though that you kind of have to keep in mind with Justin Tucker, which makes it harder for him, I guess you could say, harder and easier, but uh, he's had over 460 field goal attempts, whereas a guy like Harrison Butker has 241. Uh, and Eddie Pinheiro, who you mentioned, is in third place, but only played 122 field goal attempts. So,
Yeah,
like, you kind of have to still give a little bit of respect to a veteran like a Justin Tucker
sure.
or someone like a Chris Boswell, who is in fourth place, who has played over 300 snaps. Like, you know, it's the sample size. Like, I could go up tomorrow and make a field goal and kick a field goal in the NFL and just have that one. And I technically have a 100% accuracy percent. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Tucker has been doing it for years.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Obviously, he's still probably the greatest of all time. It just seems like a pandemic of some sorts going on,
Oh,
or
I
epidemic.
100%. Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
A kickdemic.
a kickdemic. Because I mean,
Something.
I know, like obviously being a Green Bay fan, there's plenty of games we could have won if we just made a field goal or two more.
Oh, yeah.
And the Raiders game this past week, they would have won if Carlson hits those two field goals.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
But who knows? I digress. Hindsight's 2020.
I digress.
I
Oh,
digress.
you can't take back the missed field goals, but you just got to roll with the punches.
Just gotta roll with the punches. All right.
Mr. Cody, Thanksgiving was
And I know,
just
yeah,
the other
Thanksgiving
week.
was just this past weekend. So we're gonna do a quick little I guess segment we can call it. My three players I am most thankful for this past Thanksgiving weekend. Number
Very
three,
nice.
we're gonna go with Mr. Brock Bowers, stud. Number two, not a player, but I'm gonna go with the entire Broncos defense. And number one, Bucky Irving. All for I wouldn't even say similar reasons, the exact same reason. All helped me clinch playoff spots in my fantasy leagues this week. So
In a
those are my,
very deep, rough league, mind you.
one was our 14 leaguer, and the other one was a 12 leaguer. So
Whenever a defense scores you around 15 points, even 10 points, like you got to be thankful for them. I was lucky enough to as much as I hate them, I did pick up and play the Cowboys defense in a league and got me about 18 points from what I remember. And
yeah, they like pick six or something, didn't they? They
oh
played great
yeah,
defense.
well the Broncos. How many points did the Broncos put up for you? They had two,
Oh, it had to be like
at least.
20, only 13. It says. I could have swore it was more.
13 points is still a good week, dude. 13 points.
I mean, they
Broncos
let up a lot of
scored.
yards and points, but they did have 3 picks and 2 touchdowns, so it kind of helped them.
Yeah,
Helped me beat Josh by like 1.2 points. Josh, if you're watching, what a haymaker of a game that was.
hey,
Barn burner, some might say.
dude, get the horses out of the barn because it's on fire.
It was insane, dude. I was like, I had it pulled up on my phone, like the fantasy matchup, and it literally would go from like 99 win percentage to him, and then it would go 99% me, and then 99%. A little backstory going into last night, I was up like, I don't know, 50, 60. So I'm like, oh, okay, what do I got to worry about, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only players this guy's got left is Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku. Like, I'm fine. They're scoring what, 10, 15 each? Well, I was wrong, very wrong. Thankfully, I had Bo Nix still going in Broncos defense. But yeah, that was just like the game back and forth.
A certified banger.
It was. It
It was a
was.
certified
It
Monday
might
night
go
banger.
down as the game of the year in the fantasy world.
Oh
Like
yeah, dude.
we're gonna get a documentary on this one.
It was
20
phenomenal
years
game.
down, we're gonna get like a NFL Films Week 13
What-
Cody versus Josh matchup.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about Bo Nix and Jameis Winston, but yeah, you guys, the
Well, yeah,
fantasy.
maybe that too, but I'm talking about we're going to NFL film about our fantasy
Yeah,
matchup.
who cares about Bo Nix and
The amount
Jameis
of the
Winston?
amount of times I've seen like 99 win percentage shift, but I've never seen it happen 4 times in the same week, like in the same
Yeah,
game,
in
same
the
matchup.
same night.
It was
Yeah,
insane. It was absolutely insane, dude.
in a
I thought
matter
my
of
phone was glitching out.
2 hours. Yeah,
It wasn't even 2 hours. It was literally like it was it
15
was like it
minutes.
was like I had me at 99 going into the night, and then like slowly creeping over, and then Josh at 99, and then Broncos got that the second pick six, so then went boom back to me, and then they were on that last drive. Njoku caught one, and then Judy had another catch, so then it like switched back over to him,
Mhm.
and then Broncos got that last interception right back over to me. I was like, this is insane.
Back and forth.
It,
Snip,
it
snap,
was
snip, snap.
it was
It was
insane. It's
just,
crazy.
yeah,
It
yeah.
was
You
like the
love
Chiefs Bills playoff game a couple years ago.
where they had to actually change the rules for
Yeah.
OT. Yeah, they should still change the rules for regular season. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, there's got to be something better. There's got
Make
to
it
be
like,
some
make it
better.
like, make it like college.
Yeah, I mean, I still don't. I'm not really a huge fan of college, but I like it much better than the NFL overtime rules
Oh, okay, Cody. You and
for
I are
sure.
playing. I get the ball first. Sorry, Cody. Like that's not fun.
Well,
That's
that's what
not.
I mean. No, like you definitely,
You know
no
what I
matter
mean?
if you score touchdown or field goal, I should still get a chance.
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
and then what I would even say is maybe like start them at like the 50.
Ooh, I
You know
like
what I
that.
mean? Like just
Yeah,
start them at the 50. Like don't even do a kickoff. Don't do any of that shit. Just start them at the 50.
yeah.
Go. And then,
Go.
miss field goal or turnover and downs. Like you don't get it where it is. Like you just start at the 50.
Yeah. Well,
You
that's
know
why I
what I
like
mean?
college because they're it's just basically just red zone stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, if you're gonna win, you're going to win here, and
I
you're
just
gonna
the only
contest.
part I don't like about the college is like where it goes to just like the flat 2 point conversions after a while.
Yeah,
Like I get you want to like get a winner, but like why at the 2 yard line? Like what do they start at like 30 or 40 or something? Like maybe move them up to the 20 or something. Like
yeah,
don't move them all the way up to the two.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting.
You know
It's
what I mean?
definitely interesting. I think it's more interesting than NFL has it now, but they could certainly cook up something better than well, flip the coin. Whoever scores next, there you go. It's like that's not fair.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
one
because you
wants a
saw that
tie.
game. We're always going back to the Chiefs, but Chiefs Bucks. When the Chiefs won in overtime, you saw Baker. He's like, "Oh fuck,"
Yeah, he just
because you
rolled his
know,
eyes because he knew it was over.
yeah,
He knew it was over.
yeah. We should
It's
probably call
unfortunate.
Goodell. We got to get Goodell back on the phone. Be like, hey,
Oh, I'll just
right,
text him later.
we got an
I'll just
idea.
I don't know why I didn't just text him and have him change the rules. I'll do that tonight.
I know. I know. We had that meeting with him a couple weeks ago, but
Mm.
I had a couple too many mojitos, and I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
He got a little mad at me, but
Oh, Goodell.
anyway. Speaking of overtime, do you see that Georgia Tech game? That was crazy.
So I heard a lot about it. Didn't see a lot about it,
It was crazy. It went
unfortunately.
like 8 overtimes.
I've been out of the college football loop a little bit. I know about some teams that made the playoffs, which is cool, but um, see what happens there. I think uh I think Texas has got it. I think Texas has got it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, probably.
You know,
I'd say
it'll
so.
be interesting to see how Penn State fares against a legitimate team. Don't think that it's going to go well.
I
I
don't
think
know, folks.
Oregon's
I
obviously
think
probably going
I
to
think
plow
Oregon
through.
wins, and I think when I looked at the spread, it was like I don't even know, like 3.5 or something. Like they had it close. I don't even think it's gonna be that close. Penn State is not good against top ranked teams.
God dang. Yeah, they're going to lose.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna leave a challenge to the viewers watching. If you guys can guess what type of beer I'm drinking, free shirt.
Whoa. But you got to get it on the first guess.
Yeah, first guess.
Can't leave 20 comments. I mean, you can. You should, but we'll count your first one.
Yeah, we're only counting one. Your first guess, whoever gets it. And we're not going to say yes or no in the comments. We're just going to come in and be like, yeah, this is our winner.
Hell yeah, dude. I like that.
Whoever can guess the beer. And it's not, I don't know if there's, it's not Shiner. I know the glass says Shiner, but that is your hint. It's not Shiner.
Not Shiner.
It's not Shiner.
It's not Shiner. I
It
like that.
is, should I give it? No, I'm not going to give hints. I'm going to make
No
it fun.
hints.
No hints. I'll make it fun.
If
If
the
no one
people,
gets it between now and if we get to a Saturday show, apologies on that one. We were supposed to do our Saturday show this past Saturday to get back on that. But I may have had too much beer that's in that glass and forgot it was Saturday and
yeah, we have
wasn't feeling the hottest there, guys. So
busy,
apologies on
busy
that one.
holiday stuff.
It was, but we're back on the grind. No more playing around.
No more freaking around anymore.
Speaking about no more fricking around, Jack. We only missed three games last week
We did
for our
good.
pick'ems. I know. We said we are going perfect slate. We were close. I mean, I think all the games we got wrong were all one score.
Yeah, well, definitely the Cardinals one was about 4 points, I believe.
No, I think they won by one. Wasn't it a one-score game?
Oh,
I think it was like 29-28. Cardinals
no, I
lost.
think yeah, you're right.
The Colts
The
won by, I think, a touchdown, and the Falcons won or lost by 6, I think. So all one-score games. So we were close. We were very close.
That's why, and I was thinking too, we mentioned possibly doing spreads because that Cardinals spread was 3 or 3.5, and that would have slapped. Would have slapped.
Let's not forget who wanted to go Minnesota.
You did want to go Minnesota. You got me there. You got me there.
That's all right. There's definitely been times this year where I have led us astray. So
was that a coin decider?
That was. So
technically my
for
veto
those who
is
do
still
care,
wrong.
the Buddy Clark coin has fallen to 3-2 on the year. Still a winning record.
Yeah.
Still still doing good, but another one in the loss column for Sir Buddy Clark there.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of pick'ems, you want to just roll into it?
I think we just roll right into it, brother.
All right. We should come up with like a little title screen here, like pick'ems.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Sweet Life Pick'ems kicks off on Thursday night.
Sweet Life Pick'ems. Flash the whoo. Yeah, like I said, I don't even know if I want to talk about this one. I think I might just have to plead the fifth here, and I will go with whatever you pick. I will be submissive to you on this pick, Jack.
It's very hard to pick against the Lions right now. That's all that I'm going to say. You're not even going to say a word. All right. Well, I'll give a brief minute synopsis on the game. I'm not just going to, pull the trigger and shoot you in the head now. I'm going to give you my train of thought.
Well, that's fine. You can talk on it. It's just like we said earlier, I don't want to jinx it here. Big game.
Understandable.
Big game, big moments. Special teams, special plays, special players.
100%. This definitely is not an easy game to pick. I will say that. As hot as the Lions are, the Packers getting 3.5 is still not an awful bet. You cannot count out the Packers the way they're playing. Jordan Love has been protecting the football. He's been less turnover heavy. He sort of controlled that gunslinger in him. Josh Jacobs is getting hot. They've really committed to running the football confidently and consistently. Don't have to really say too much about the defense. They've played lights out. Obviously, that Miami game was a fat W for Green Bay. Detroit at home. You could argue that Detroit's the hottest team in the league right now. I don't even know if it's a question. And it's just hard to pick against a team that is that hot at home. It is a divisional game. So you can never
know.
Can never count anyone out. However, if I had to put money on the game, which we technically are, I'm gonna go Lions money. I'm gonna have to ride with the Lions. It's gonna be I think it's gonna be a really back and forth game. The over/under is 51.5. I mean, this could be game of the week on Thursday night. So that's gonna be my pick. Locking it in?
That's fine. I'm
Okay.
not saying anything. I don't
Okay.
want to. Yeah, let's go with
Don't
it.
say anything. Okay.
I
All
know.
right.
I know. I know. I've been okay picking them. Talking about the Green Bay games all week or all year. Just this is one I just gotta
It's
let the
getting
universe
serious
take
now.
over here.
It's getting
Jesus, take
very
the wheel
serious.
here.
It's getting serious now. It's a
It is.
divisional opponent that you need to get a win over.
We're in
That
that.
is also an interesting narrative for the Packers. Do the
Like
Packers win here?
KSI would
Because
say, we're in the thick of it. So
from the ring to the pen to the king. We're locking in. Well, I'll let you talk now as we go to the Raiders at Tampa Bay. I'll let you take this one over.
Raiders at Tampa Bay. Yeah, I mean, I will say Aiden O'Connell did look pretty good last week. Bucks didn't look that great last week, but they did win. However, new week, new game. I think the Bucks at home take this one. I think the Raiders are already looking on to next season, and I
Agreed.
think the more they lose, the better they are off. So I'll go Tampa Bay. Although, and I didn't look at all the games yet so far, this could be the trap game of the week. But I'll go Bucks.
Yeah. Tampa Bay played scary close against the Panthers. Is that because the Panthers are playing better or
I
because
think
Tampa
no,
Bay's
I
in a
think the
rut?
Panthers are playing better than earlier in the year. I think Bryce Young looks much better. Um,
I
what it
agree.
is, what happened, I don't know.
He's been listening to the show. He's been hearing our support.
He must be. He's like, man, I got put on for my boys Jack and Cody over there.
I hope so, dude. I would love to meet Bryce Young one day.
Right? Could you imagine if we just got him? Like if we were like
Oh my
special
God.
guests, a
If we got
square
him on the
pop in
show.
between us, and there's just Bryce
Oh
Young.
my God. Hey guys, hey, what's going on? No, no, we love
Yeah,
you,
I'll go
Bryce.
Bucks here.
Yeah,
I
we're
mean, Bucks,
locking in Bucks.
Bucks. I mean, Bucks. I mean, they're still fighting for a playoff spot, so they really, they really have to win. And
Mhm.
this is a game they could easily win. So
Yeah, I agree.
I'll go Bucks.
All right, move on to a rematch from a couple weeks ago. Cleveland Browns, who coming off a close game against the Broncos, we just spoke about. Cleveland Browns at Pittsburgh. I'm leaning Pittsburgh. I think they're one of the best teams in the AFC right now, and I don't think that they'll lose to the Browns twice.
Yeah, I agree. No, I will go Pittsburgh as well. Jameis, 3 interceptions last week, and still almost won that game. However, Steelers are a better team than the Broncos. Steelers are a team you don't want to turn the ball over 3 times against. I mean, look at Joe Burrow. Bengals had 3 turnovers last week against Pittsburgh, and they lost. And if Jameis is going to come in, throw 3 more interceptions, 2 more interceptions, maybe another pick six. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't like the chances for them. And it's Pittsburgh at home, so yeah, I'll take Pittsburgh.
divisional game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is December. They played in the snow a couple weeks ago. We're recording this on a Tuesday. They might play in the snow again. You never know what's going to happen in Pittsburgh. So it could be another fun snow game. Does that possibly give the Browns an edge if snow ends up touching the ground? Who knows? I just don't see them losing
Mm,
again. If the Browns win twice, good for them, I guess. I mean, they're kind of,
yeah, good for
you know,
them. But yeah, no, I mean, we talk about hot teams. Pittsburgh's right up there with you
over
know
400 passing yards
hotter
last week.
teams. Oh,
Russell
Russ
Wilson had
Wilson
over.
looked like he was back in Seattle last week.
It was awesome. Back in the sack, dude.
Back in the sack.
All right. Move on to Jacksonville Jaguars at Tennessee Titans.
There we are.
Leaning Titans here. I believe Trevor Lawrence is going to be out for a bit.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it comes down to whether Lawrence plays or not. But yeah, no, I like Tennessee. Mac Jones is not that good. Although I almost brought him back last week, I will say, against the Texans.
Yeah.
Very low over under. Might be the lowest of any game this week, which it looks like it is.
Mm.
Rightfully so. I mean, I just give the edge to Tennessee just because their defense is much better than Jacksonville's. where I could see Will Levis putting up more points against Jacksonville's defense than I could see Mac Jones against Tennessee's.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Nick Westbrook-Akine, who is just putting himself on the freaking map, dude. I mean, I think the man has like 15 career catches.
He has
15
like
catches.
20 catches this year, and like 9 of them are touchdowns.
Yeah, that's
like his
insane.
ratio is crazy.
Yeah, half of the time he touches
Yeah.
the ball, it's a touchdown. That's insane. So look out for him. Maybe write a fat anytime TD on Nick.
Yeah, no, but it's the week we talk about it and maybe do it where he doesn't score.
Yeah, of course.
Although it's a great matchup. Jacksonville's defense is terrible.
Atrocious.
Very bad.
Yes.
Yeah, I like
locking in. We're riding together, man. Going Tennessee. There hasn't been too much deliberation yet.
No, so far.
So we go to
pretty clear cut ones here.
So far, so good. But now we're gonna go to Philly, and who's on the road but the Carolina Panthers in dirty Philly?
This is heartfelt here.
Spread's 12.5.
I mean, realistically, it's Philly.
Yeah,
and it, like Vegas, I don't think it's going to be close either. 12.5 is. Do you play around with that plus 12 on Carolina side? Maybe.
It's a lot of points, but
it is. But yeah, I think it's Philly here pretty easily. The defense is very, come into the zone in the latter part of the season. Like we talked about, DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell, probably the two best cornerbacks out of this draft, and somehow they both went to the same team.
God bless America.
The offense.
God bless Cooper DeJean.
The offense looks silky smooth and running on all 4 cylinders or 6 cylinders, whatever kind of motor they got. Yeah, it's Philly here. I don't think it's close. Just like
they've been getting their oil changed. They've been getting their tires rotated, dude. Saquon's wheels have.
They go for servicing often.
Oh, dude, it's phenomenal. I'm of course going to ride with the Birds.
Yeah.
No,
I mean that's probably the biggest spread this week, and for obvious reasons. It's not actually. I mean, we'll get to. Oh, that's next week. Never mind.
That's the biggest spread of the week right now.
Yeah, that is the biggest spread this week. I was looking at next week.
Which, I mean, is fair. You got a top 5 team against a bottom 5 team. It's tough. But we'll move on from my Birds to the Dirty Birds, the Atlanta Falcons at Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I don't know what to take away on this one. Part of me wants to go Minnesota only because Kirk Cousins has been playing pretty bad over the past 3 weeks. I think 0 touchdowns to 6 interceptions in that time. On the road in Minnesota. However, I don't know. Minnesota's also, although they've been winning, they also haven't been playing as at high of a level as they were early on.
Almost lost the Cardinals.
Where to go with this one.
I lean Minnesota here.
Minnesota. I mean, at home.
Although I wouldn't count out Atlanta, who I believe only has 5 wins right now. They are really they have to start fighting. Like these games, they have to start winning some of these games. Kirk turned over the ball 3 times this last week.
Like that division. What is that? The NFC South or whatever that is. I mean, that division's still wide open. Between the Falcons, Bucks, Saints.
So the Falcons right now are 6-6. I think they go 6-7, man. I don't know, man.
It's tough, man. I don't know. This is probably.
I could be swayed. If you want to go Atlanta, I'll ride with you. I could go either way. But I just
my gut was telling me my gut last week was telling me go with Minnesota. My gut this week is telling me go against Minnesota. A nice little Kirk bounce back.
Okay.
If I steer it wrong, I apologize. Like I said,
no, hey man,
I'm just going off gut feeling here.
If the Falcons steer us wrong again, the Falcons have steered me wrong once in our pick'ems before. I feel like they've steered us wrong maybe a couple times this year already. I feel
Probably.
like we've had bad luck picking the
They're
Falcons.
just
So I'll
they've
let.
been such a. I mean, they're 6-6 right now. They've just been inconsistent, not inconsistent, but like they win and then they lose, and then we think they're going to win again, and they lose, and we think they're going to lose again, and they win, and
Yep.
they're a hard team to really judge because they
Gauge.
can have a game like a few weeks ago when they play the Bucs and Kirk throws for 500 yards and they put up 40 points, or they have a
Yeah.
game like last week where they do nothing and put up 13.
Yeah, they're kind of similar to like a team like the Cardinals or the Seahawks, where
Yeah,
it's like they go up and down and up and down and up and down. It's like what's going on?
exactly.
But
I don't know.
we'll
For some
if you
reason,
want to
my
ride,
gut's telling me to go with them this week.
let's go with the Dirty Birds.
Really, for like I said, no other reason than gut feeling.
Hey,
That's all I got.
sometimes that gut is, it does something for a reason.
Hey, I
Let's
hear
go
you.
with it. Let's lock in with the
All right,
Dirty Birds.
let's ride.
And we're going to go to an interesting one here that I'm curious if you have the same view as I do on this one. New York Jets are on the road going to Miami. Divisional game. A lot of divisional games this week.
A lot of divisional games this week.
Teams.
Both teams coming off a loss. Jets looked very good in the first half last week. Looked very bad in the second half. Miami looked very bad in the first half last week. Looked pretty good in the second half. However, Miami at home, I'll take them. They're two is good at home, two is good in the warm weather. I think they have a nice little bounce back game. And I'll take Miami here.
I don't know if the Jets go 3-10, man.
They're washed, dude. They're done.
But they're only 2 wins away from tying their record with Miami.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be 3 after this week.
Is it coin?
Maybe it's just because I like watching Aaron Rodgers lose. That I'm hoping.
I think I would use my veto on this one. I think I would be so bold.
Okay, you do it.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I mean, I have to be. I can't.
Well, you could draw yours. We go to the coin, but
I think there's a game I might save it on.
Okay.
But depending on how we pick there,
we could come back.
We can come back. But
so
there's a game I may save it on.
We'll lock in the Jets with my veto for right now.
Yeah.
And possibly come back.
Yeah.
All right. Next
possibly game 2 I might use it on.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I got 2 that I think we might differ.
Okay. So for now, you cast the veto as the lock on the Jets.
Sure.
The next game is the New Orleans Saints at New York Giants at MetLife.
Yeah, I mean, what do you even say here? I mean, I would probably go Saints just because on paper they're the better team right now.
I'm leaning Saints.
Like I said, they're still, I guess, technically fighting for a playoff spot because that division is wide open still. And the Giants are just the Giants.
Yeah, similar teams. They're both leaning on their defense a little bit, and neither one of their. Yeah.
DeVito looks like he'll be back under center.
Drew Lock.
I think DeVito's
not sure if it's
back.
Going to be DeVito or Lock.
I think Tommy's back. Tommy Cutlets.
Okay. I still like the Saints.
What is it that the Giants quarterbacks have like some of the cooler nicknames? Well, former Giant quarterback, now Viking quarterback, like Danny Dimes, Tommy Cutlets, but they suck. Imagine if Tommy DeVito was like one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the league, like Tommy Cutlets. It's
dope.
It's great.
It's phenomenal.
But anyway, we can get back.
Italian,
I mean, it's
Saints. Italian stallion.
I don't know.
Locking into Shanks. No, not too much today about that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Giants are purposely tanking now at this point. So.
Yeah, they're looking forward to the draft.
Yeah, they're looking forward to see who their quarterback next year is going to be.
100%. So we move on to 2 teams we mentioned earlier that are very similar to each other, the Seahawks at the Cardinals.
Why does it feel like the Cardinals always play at 4 o'clock?
It does feel like
or
that.
Is it just me? I feel like they're always on at 4 o'clock.
Last week they were on. Last week they were on at 1, I believe. But
Or they,
yeah.
I don't remember. Yeah, they were. But I feel like they're just always on at 4. Seahawks, Cardinals. Like I said, Kyler Murray in the month of November is not good. I know now we're in December, but really anything after October, he's just not good late in the season.
Oh, come on. He's got to get a win.
At home.
At
Yeah, I
home.
mean, he needed to win last week too, and the week before, and he didn't get them then either. Which I think when they played last, the Seahawks beat them. Again, that was in Seattle, though. I don't know. Where are you leading? Are you leading Cardinals?
Seahawks are 7-5. I think they go 7-6, and Cardinals tie it up. I'm going Cardinals personally, but you got your veto in pocket.
I mean, we can go Cardinals for now because there's
Okay.
one more game I'm going to save the veto for, depending on where we lean.
Okay.
All right,
There's some
and
interesting games here.
this will be the one I go back to because then I'll give you the Jets, depending on how this later game we talk about goes.
All right.
You know, I'm gonna veto Seahawks, but I'm gonna wait to use it.
All right.
I'm
Word.
gonna keep that one on the back burner.
All right. Enough said. Next game is the Bears at the 49ers. No longer is CMC active, nor is Jordan Mason the backup. So they're leaning on Isaac Guerendo now, the third string running back, and I'm assuming they're going to sign someone else to try and help out.
Yeah, I know they claimed some dude that from like the Jets. It's some Israel out of something or other. Yeah, so we talk about hot teams in the NFL, but now we're going to talk about two of the coldest teams in the NFL. No more Matt Eberflus out there in Chicago. So first game with new interim head coach going up against a Niners team that just can't seem to put it together this year. It is in San Francisco, so I'm going to go with San Francisco just because they are the better team. And I just don't know what Chicago is going to look like with the new head coach at the moment.
So I lean the Bears here.
Okay.
And I know you don't like rooting for the Bears or picking the Bears, I'm sure, but if you look at how closely the Bears have been losing games, now a loss is still a loss. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Hey,
You
like
can't.
my grandpa would say, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah, but look at Detroit on Thanksgiving, 23-20 against Minnesota. They lost. It was 30-27 in overtime. The week before that, Green Bay, 20-19. Okay, how about a couple weeks before that, on October 27th against Washington, 18-15. This is a team that plays super, super close. And if
Yeah,
there's
but if you're
any,
losing, what's the difference whether you lose by 1 or lose by 10? It's a loss. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day, when you're betting the money line, it doesn't matter if you're losing by 1. Doesn't matter if you lose by 2, 3,
but
4,
now
5.
Eberflus is Eber
Either
fucking
floss.
out of there. Yeah. I like the idea of an interim coming in and trying to turn the team around. I feel like it happens frequently where a coach gets fired and then they go and win.
All
You
right.
know,
Well, I guess I have a couple more. I have more games than I thought I was going to have to consider my veto on because I thought we were both going Niners there.
oh, okay.
We'll go Bears because
Okay, I'll lock in Bears for now.
I want to keep the veto holstered for now.
Okay.
But yeah, go Bears. Not
I
go
mean,
Bears,
I don't
but
know if you want it. I don't know if you want to
select
incorporate it or
Bears.
not. I don't know if you want to incorporate it or not. They're getting 3.5. If you want to take the 3.5, or if you still are not swayed on that, or if you just don't, if you want to keep it the straight money lines.
We just got. I think what we have to do is if we want to incorporate that, we'll start that next season. I think we've just been running money lines. Next
We've
season
been
we'll
running the
start.
straights.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know,
Well, we can come
Matt.
back to it. We come back. And hey, You could maybe sway me on that. I just like the idea of the coach getting fired and then they go and win. And they haven't played so close. And like CMC's out,
Yeah,
you know what
that's
I mean? Like
fine, man. You can play close, but it doesn't matter if you're still losing.
I know. All right. Well, let's put a pin in that one. We'll come back.
All right.
We got the Bills at Rams.
It's Bills for me.
It's Bills for Jacko as well.
I'll tell you what I say. The way you looked there for a second, I thought you were gonna
no,
disagree
I
there.
like the Bills are also. We were talking about hot teams. Bills are getting hot.
Yeah.
Josh
I mean, I will
Allen's
say
making his
Rams are
case for
much better at
MVP.
home than they are on the road, which they are back home this week. Bills much better at home than on the road, and they're on the road this week. However, yeah, like you just touched on, Bills, one of the hotter teams in the league. Rams defense, not great. And really, this one, what offense is going to do more? And I think the Bills offense will do more. Although I wouldn't be surprised if we see like Matthew Stafford with like a 3-touchdown, 300-yard game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah,
I don't think it's likely, but I wouldn't
something
be surprised.
Could be something where you got to get the pigs and the cows out of the barn because it's about to burn down type of deal. You know what I'm saying? But I like the Bills in a shootout.
Yeah, I'll take.
I trust.
I think we both agree.
Yeah, Josh Allen just got engaged to Haley Steinfeld, and I think he's looking for ring number 2 this year.
He's winning on and off the field.
Yeah,
good job. Good job.
Say less. Job. Yeah, round of applause. The kids are going to be beautiful. They're going to be beautiful. Okay, enough about Haley Steinfeld. Hey yo, let's move on to the Chargers at the Chiefs. Chargers at the Chiefs. What do we got? What are we doing? The refs get another victory? What are we thinking?
I'm going Chargers.
Chargers have been playing good ball.
Huh?
Chargers have been playing good ball.
Yeah, I mean, the Chargers have turned into what I criticized Pittsburgh being all at the beginning of the year. They scored just enough to win, and their defense is holding the opposite offense to enough to where they're winning. And like we said, Chiefs offense hasn't been playing great. It is an Arrowhead, so tough place to play as a road team. But I don't know. I know no J.K. Dobbins for LA, so that's tough. But they won last week without him. Yeah, I like the Chargers this week.
Top 5 defense in the NFL right now. Chargers, I believe. Chiefs might be top 5 Chiefs as well.
Too. Yeah.
So could be a funky game. I think I'm going to ride with you. Earlier this season, my whole mantra was the Kansas City Chiefs are going to go undefeated, in the regular season at least. And they broke that seal with their loss. So it's hard to look at them the same. Obviously, I'm rooting for their downfall as an Eagles fan. Oh, yeah, like breaking the seal, man. You start pissing and it's hard to stop, it just keeps on going. And
you can hold that first one in for a good hour and a half, but once you break that seal, you're going every 20 minutes.
You're going. You're going. And the Chiefs, they are at home. Like you said, it's going to be a tough environment, but the Chargers are trying to instill that Harbaugh way of life.
I mean, that's another team, though. The Chargers, they're another team that's fighting for playoff, spots. So this is, they're going to have to win this one.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go Chargers here with you, man.
Chargers.
Lock it in.
Cool. All right.
Last game of the week on Monday night, the Simpson collab game. If you heard about that, you know how they had the Toy Story AI collab thing last year.
Yeah, they're doing the Simpsons this year.
Yeah. So you're gonna see Bart Simpson and the Bengals against Homer Simpson and the Dallas Cowboys. So that may change the way we look at this game. It's father and son, okay?
It is.
And as much as the Cowboys are in a rut and they're without their quarterback, if you got Homer Simpson, what does he constantly do? He's constantly beating the snot out of his son, Bart. So, this could be a sneaky win. I don't know. It's in Jerry
Yeah, we
World.
know Bart does. Bart
I
takes
don't
it.
even know who to go
Goes,
on this one.
Where are you going? No, I didn't hear what you
I
said.
don't
I'm
know where
sorry.
to go. I'm gonna let you.
Oh, so I'm
Oh,
going Cincinnati
sorry.
Bengals. I know they haven't necessarily been playing. I mean, their offense is playing lights out this year, but the defense has been playing opposite of lights out, lights on, like whatever. Um, however, if the Bengals put up another 30 points, Cowboys aren't keeping up. Well, I mean, against
Nope.
the Bengals defense, maybe they can. But Cowboys this
Anything's
year at least
possible.
haven't been good at home, and it is in Dallas. But I like Cincinnati here.
I'll ride with you, man. I don't know what to think about that game, so I'm gonna let you take it, and I'm gonna ride with it.
All right, so
Our picks
I'm
of
going
the
to
week.
use. We got
Nope.
through. We got through the
You
week,
got okay.
and I got the veto in hand. I'm not
Okay.
going to go to the coin. I'll let you keep the Jets. I am going to
Okay.
veto the 49ers over the Bears, though.
Okay. That's fine.
I am going to use my veto there
The veto hath been cast.
because I like Niners over Bears more than I do Seahawks over Cardinals. So I'll use my veto on the Niners. Beat the
Understandable.
Bears.
All right. So our picks are Lions against Packers, Tampa Bay
Lions and
over
Tigers.
Raiders, Pittsburgh over Cleveland, Titans over Jags, Philly over Carolina, Atlanta over Minnesota, Jets over Miami, Saints over the Giants, Cardinals over the Seahawks, Bills over the Rams, Chargers over the Chiefs in a fat upset, Cincinnati and Homer Simpson against the Dallas Cowboys, and the 49ers over the Chicago Bears. 2 bones to win, 1,800 bones.
We're getting there, guys. We missed 4 for a couple weeks in a row. Only missed 3 last week. We're getting there. We're getting there.
We're getting there. We're getting there, brother.
We
All right.
feel good about this one, though. I
We
don't
got
know,
our.
man. Feel good about this one. I like this one.
I do feel good about it. I do feel good about it.
Feel
Survivor.
good about it.
We both won our Survivor this week, brother.
Yes, we did. We did bet our. We both did win our Survivor this week. I had the Broncos winning, which they did, and you had the Bucs winning, which
They did.
got scary there at the last at the end there, but they pulled it out.
Yes, sir.
I believe I picked first last week. So Jacko, you are gonna kick us off here with your Survivor pick. And to go over teams you have already used, you have used Miami, Seattle, New York Jets, the Lions, the Chiefs, the Niners, the Bengals, the Steelers, the
The
Ravens,
bangers.
Chargers, the Texans, and the Buccaneers.
I picked
Jack,
Tampa
you
Bay
got a lot
last
right,
week.
and you technically don't have an official loss yet.
I know it's been a back and we missed 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks.
We only
2
missed
weeks.
one. We only missed one official Survivor pick.
Oh, really?
So we're counting as a no decision. So it's not technically a loss, but also not technically a win.
Right. I'm not technically undefeated. I'm undefeated, but not. There's not the same swagger about it.
If you go undefeated, it'll be like the bubble season of the NBA. Like, does it really count? I think it
I'm
counts
still
because
gonna.
even if you get freaking 16 right, like that's crazy.
It's
It's still impressive.
It's
I would
still
think
picking that amount of teams, that amount of games completely accurate. You know what I mean?
No, we'll get your Zay Flowers.
My gut has been good to me so far, and my gut's telling me we're going with Baby Blue, Houston Titans, or
The Houston Titans.
Baby Blue with the
Houston Oilers.
Tennessee Titans.
All right.
That's what I was thinking, dude. One of the best
Jack's
uniforms in the
going
league.
Titans. All
Will
right.
Levis.
So now is my turn.
What did I say? Nick Westbrook Akine.
Score another one. Anytime touchdown score. Put it on there. All right. So to reiterate, I've used Bengals, Jets, Browns, Bills, Seahawks, Steelers, I almost said Redskins, Commanders, Chiefs, Eagles, Panthers, Lions, Broncos. This week, me give me the Buccaneers.
If I didn't pick them last week, I was going to take them this week against the Raiders.
The Bucks getting picked 2 weeks in a row. Look at that. I was between them and the Niners.
That might be a fat lock of the week. Titans.
Wasn't sure where to go, but
Titans and Bucks.
Yo, speaking of course, the week I don't put a parlay on the Instagram, it hits.
It did hit, ladies and gentlemen.
6-man anytime touchdown parlay. It locked. It hit.
Oh, it hit. It slapped.
It slapped. It jimmied. Well, I usually don't do that touchdown one was kind of just a one-off. I usually don't do the touchdowns for the jimmies. My jimmies only missed by 1, by the way. Well, I did a Thanksgiving one, which missed by 1, and then I did a Sunday one, which I think missed by 2. So hit rate's good. Obviously, if you miss one on the parlay, it doesn't count.
I've been missing my locks the past couple of weeks, but there's going to be one this week, and I think it might have something to do with both of our Survivor picks. So keep an eye peeled.
Keep an eye peeled. All right, yeah. Bucks, Titans, lock it in. Pull the lever. Send it down.
Lock it in. Lock it in.
One more time here. Not that we're in a show, but just going to run these one more time.
Yes, sir.
I keep shaking my camera here. You know, I'm getting shaky because I can't stop thinking about this deposit match over at Underdog. That's going to be a shaky. I don't know what's going on with my
the bangers at Underdog.
I was about to say I don't know what's going on with my hard R's here, but don't keep that in the. We're not going to keep that in here. Okay. Let's try that again. My camera's getting a little shaky here because I can't stop thinking about the deposit match over at Underdog Fantasy when you use code GETRIGHT. 50% deposit match up to 1,000 smackaroonies. I don't know about you guys, but I like free money. So get over there, use promo code GETRIGHT.
Absolutely.
Also, use code GETRIGHT over at Trophy Smack. Imagine one of these bad boys. You got your, put your league name at the top there, 2024/25 champion with your name on it. Oh, man. I mean, you guys know what we say about this thing. I don't think we have to reiterate what we say about that thing. Imagine walking in, long day at work, boss is in your ear all day. You get home, you walk through the front door.
You go to the bar.
Well, you'd wear this thing to the bar. But I'm saying, just imagine walking into your house, whether you have a living room, an office, wherever you want to keep this bad boy, but you see this laying there. Your bad day is not so bad anymore.
Mm-mm. Like
I said, so.
And we don't have to say anything about what happens if you put that belt on and go outside for too long. It's exactly. like flies on shit. It's just they just flock.
This thing ain't just for keeping your pants up, if you know what I mean.
It's for keeping them down. Hey.
But yes, one more time, Underdog Fantasy code GETRIGHT, 50% deposit match up to $2,000. Promo code GETRIGHT over at Trophy Smack. Come on. Like I said, what's better than winning your fantasy league if you can't showboat it? All right. Other than that, Jacko, any words to let these people leave or live their lives by?
Get excited for the T-shirts. T-shirts coming soon.
We'll be back Saturday. The usual. Talk about some bets. Talk about some fantasy. Talk about some other bullshit. Whatever we really want to talk about. Saturday is, not to say this, not really a free for all, but Saturday is more of a free fall. Saturday is, pop in the chat, we'll answer your questions. Like I said, if no one gets the correct beer by Saturday, maybe I'll quiz you guys again, see who could guess the right beer.
Get a free T-shirt.
Guess the beer, get a free T-shirt, and maybe I'll just keep it rolling until someone gets it right. Someone's gonna get it eventually. There's only so many beers out there. But I said, like we said, you can only guess once a week. We'll say once a week. You get one guess a week.
Once a week.
So, like, say your first guess this week is one beer, but you comment 10. We're taking your first guess, but next week, guess another beer. All until someone wins and gets a free shirt. Maybe we'll keep going.
Yes,
Maybe
sir.
that'll be like a nice little fun thing we keep going. Beer of the week, we'll say.
Drink every week.
The show is gonna up my alcohol intake. Lovely.
Yeah,
All right. All right.
and increase
Anyways,
your t-shirt wearing intake.
we'll increase
Hey,
their t-shirt wearing intake, not mine.
100%.
We might give out so many, I have to start giving away my own personal ones.
Oh boy, the shirt off
So
your own
it
back.
would increase my alcohol intake, but decrease my
Your
t-shirt.
sobriety.
Yeah, whatever. All right. That's all I got. I feel good about my Survivor. Bucks, you guys, Titans. We got right. I hope you guys get right and keep living that sweet life. We'll catch you next time.